Happy Thursday. Welcome to Sext. Every time I go live, I have this internal reaction where I'm afraid that I went live on my own personal page. I don't know why, but yeah, welcome to this spiritual space at the noon hour. It looks like no one's here yet. I'm a little late, so I'm gonna wait and see if anybody signs on. It's showing me a couple of eyeballs, so good afternoon, or I don't know, good. Hey Matt, thanks for tuning in. Who else is watching? Say hello if you're watching, because it doesn't tell me, unless you say hi sometimes. But thanks for joining me here. I am at hi Tiffany, I'm at my little altar space. Hey Tracy, thanks for joining in at the lunch hour. I'm sitting here. This is where I like to sit to film, mainly because the light is really good and so you get a clear picture, but also because I think, hey Fran, I think of you guys here. Remember, I posted this a while back, but I have our magnet hearts from our magnet where we kept all our announcements and place we were going to go to lunch on Sundays for everyone to see, and on our dry erase board, and these magnets held up things and they're rainbow colored, and I think of our community every time I come here to my altar space, and so I feel like we're here together right now. And I'm really excited because I want to talk to you guys about something that I hope is helpful today. I know that the vice presidential debate was last night, but I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it in terms of being a woman, catching up on everything, because we had a Bible study last night. I don't need to I don't need to rehash what it feels like as a woman to watch another woman be mansplained or patronized or whatever. Like, I don't need that energy right now. And I'm wondering if you don't need it right now. And if you don't, then thank you for joining me in this moment for something completely different. We're going to talk about the sacred season of autumn, which we are in right now. And I know if you're in Texas, it's really hot in the afternoons, but the mornings are awesome. And if you're almost anywhere else watching, you're enjoying fall right now. And I have this little book that I got in Portland one year. My aunties live on this really rad street called Alberta, and there's this herbal shop that sells like candles and herbs and incense. It's so cool. And I picked up this little booklet at some point on some visit, and during the beginning of fall, I like to read it. And I normally would go there toward the beginning of fall, which is why I got this one. I wish I would have got all of them. But I thought for the next however many times I'm speaking during Sext during the fall, that I could read you a little bit of this and also create some space for us to kind of think about the sacred seasons, and as this book says, attuning ourselves to Earth's cycles. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to read just a little bit about early autumn, and I'm going to make space for us as I read to contextualize this material into our lives and everything that we are experiencing right now. People are texting me. My husband, who I just said I'm going live, is texting me like over and over right now, and I cannot concentrate. Stop texting me. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So I'm going to just read you a little. I'll show you how I guide you through this, and I really think you're going to love this. And Fran and Matt, you just wait till you hear this. And I read this last year. Like, this is not new, but this is so related to our upcoming sermon series. It's like bonkers. I don't even know what other word to use. So we just basically are in tune with the sacred season, Fran and Matt. Okay. Autumn. Autumn's gifts include integration, preparation, shedding, letting go, slowing down, and darkness. Okay, those are the gifts of autumn. This is a transition time. The transition from outward to inward, from light to dark, from busy to slow. It's a liminal space where things are in flux, and because of this can be a potent time for us to lovingly yet discerningly sift through our lives and reorganize them in a way that matches who we have become. We can begin to recalibrate, to sync with the slower, darker months of the year. It is a wonderful time to recommit yourself, start a new routine, or be diligent about tending to your home or yourself in new ways. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Here's a little space for us in our context to say that this is the antithesis of our realities, right? Like, a lot of you are parents who are getting off the ground with homeschooling or, virtual schooling at home. And this is not, it does not feel slower right now, right? This is an antithesis of what a lot of us are experiencing as things are picking up and feeling extra busy as we are kind of getting more and more sucked into productivity culture with the summer over, as we are getting more and more sucked into consumer culture with the holidays drawing near. And yet, this is the message of the sacred season to us, and we are able to hold our realities and our hopes in tension and engage them both. And so I think that that is an encouraging word for us to say that this is a good time for us. And also just to know that there are a lot of faith traditions, even pagan traditions, whose new year begins in the fall for this very reason. It is a great time to naturally try and slow down in the sense that the days are getting shorter, the darkness is getting longer. So it says here that autumn is arguably the darkest season. The days shorten and we approach the longest night of the year. Autumn is preparation for this, a preparation for darkness. This season teaches us of darkness. It teaches us that darkness is nothing to fear. It teaches us that the only way to light is through the darkness, and we prepare for this rebirth now. So my space here for us in our current context is to say that there's a lot of darkness around us, a lot of chaos, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of anxiety with everything surrounding our politics and our state of affairs in our country and the election coming up. But we are students already schooled in darkness. And we can do this, y'all. We can survive these times. I believe it. I believe we can. And I'm sending you that energy and that hope through the screen. Yeah, Matt, the pre-Advent feel, yes, we are preparing for the preparation. We prepare, I'm going back to the book now, we prepare by collecting the last bits of abundance from the summer, sifting through what we reaped, whatever it may have been, and letting go of what we can. We integrate and chew on our psychological harvest, what we've learned, what skills we have acquired, what we've outgrown, and what needs a good solid makeover. And the truth is, this year has been hard. It has sucked. It really has. I was walking around my block yesterday thinking, what the hell? Like, this year sucks. And it's not just like macro for a lot of us. It's personal. There's a lot going on in our personal lives and it's been hard. But I bet you, if you look back on the year, I bet you have learned something or changed somehow or had some sort of revelation or inner awakening. I just refuse to believe that none of that has happened. I know it has happened for us. And what we need to do is reap that harvest right now to prepare us for the months ahead. So Another thing it says is that many of us experience nostalgia during the autumn months. This is so true for me. I always thought I was unique in this, but apparently it's a thing. Nostalgia is defined as a wistful desire to return in thought or in fact to a former time in one's life, to one's home or homeland, or to one's family and friends, a sentimental yearning for happiness of a former place or time. This nostalgic time is a natural reflection that happens as we integrate, let go, and feel the imminent completion of another year. It's the routine contemplation period of our psyches. This can conjure longing for the past or an aching experience of what it means to let go and allow the past to die. So space for our context, I put, we can acknowledge and honor our nostalgia, but also let go of denying the current reality. We can do both of those things. And we have to do both of those things because there are too many people who don't look back. There's nothing back to go to in so many ways. And so we have to do those things, but we can still acknowledge and honor our nostalgia because there are lessons and there are gifts in our longings. And so that just was something that really resonated with me because I do feel such an intense experience of nostalgia during the fall months every year. Okay, a little more, almost done. Autumn shows us how to let go. Autumn shows us how to let things die. It is such needed medicine in our culture. We fear death. We fear endings, we fear change, and yet there can be relief when it happens. Even through the pain, it's a breath of solace to be able to let go, to stop the pushing, fighting, controlling, clinging obsessively to the what ifs, to a moment that's past, or to chronic expansiveness will forever wear us out, sapping us of our precious energy. And all of us have different levels of energy depending on the intersections of our identities and our lives and our experiences and our privileges, but we all have limited energy right now, and it's all being zapped right now by a lot of different things. The circumstances of the reality of COVID, our personal experiences and our personal situations because of the pandemic, as well as everything going on politically and socially. We have limited energy. And so my space is to just say that this is part of the work of dismantling, is that we have to let go of things. We have to tend to our energy and preserve it and be strategic about it. And we have to really just let certain things die along the way. And that is the work, to me, of dismantling. That's the work of deconstructing. That's the work of decolonizing, is letting some things go. Autumn teaches us grace. How can we gracefully let go? And it continually teaches us how to let death happen more gracefully. With an almost audible sigh that says, the trees exhale their leaves as they let flutter to the ground. They carry the imprint of the entire spring and summer. These leaves, holding their gifts, bless the earth as they land. They've completed their work for the year and return to the soil to give back, generating nutrients. The gift of death, feeding the earth, feeding new life. The deaths of life allow us to feel more fully. They throw us into considerable contemplation of how we want to live. Every autumn is a death. Every autumn provides us the opportunity to choose what we want to hold on to with new ferocity as we let go of the rest. What are the most important aspects of your life? That's a question to ask in this season. How can you refuel the most important aspects of your life as priorities? And of course, we do this in collective sacred community, knowing that none of us are free unless all of us are free. And so part of our reprioritizing is remembering that and holding that in our minds and in our hearts and our souls as we prioritize what we value and what we need in our lives. So I'm going to stop here because there's also, that was all talking about early autumn, where we are now. There's also a little something on mid and late, and I'll share those with y'all when it's appropriate. But I just wanted to say, we're starting a new sermon series this week, and we kind of said to each other like a month or so ago, this sermon series is going to be sandwiching the election, and we just kind of feel like no matter what happens, it's going to be hard, it's going to be chaotic, and we need to speak into that. But how do we plan that ahead? Not really knowing the outcome, and we decided to create a series called Let Go, Hang On. So we're literally spending October talking about what we need to shed, and November talking about what we need to hang on to in these times. And so it's just so funny to me because this spoke to that, and I hadn't read this until last week. It's my little tradition to do it when it starts to feel fallish. But yeah, it really speaks to it. And I had a thought too about letting go and hanging on. Well, I was just going to say that amidst all of this, the debate was last night. We've got all the drama surrounding the upcoming presidential debates. Are they going to be virtual or are they going to be in person? Those debates are stressful, but we're trying to stay informed. And we're just getting our energy zapped left and right. And it's just more important than ever that we have that inner peace, that inner grounding, that we know who we are, that we know what we're about, that we know what we believe, what we need to hold on to, and that in that knowing, we can unapologetically let go of some things that are harmful to us, but also things that are harmful to others around us. It takes work and it takes sacrifice, but you guys, we can do this. So I hope that you feel some hope today, and I hope you'll lean into the sacred season of fall and see what it can teach you in this time. So I love you guys. I am going to get back to work, and I hope you guys have good rest of the days and your contacts. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you on Sunday. We are not having any more sunrise hits this month because Kiana is about to get married, and so she's focusing on work and on getting her wedding planned, and so we'll be back with that mid-November. But yeah, we'll see you Sunday. So talk to y'all later.